Sup gamers? Welcome back to another video where today I'm going to be talking about some Rainbow Six Siege and this really good match that I had overall where we were playing Border. And specifically this video is going to be about how to win a 4v5 because at some point, I'm kind of spoiling it a little bit. I'm going to just pull this master volume down a little bit here just for the sake of the video. But anyway. In this video, one of our team members leaves. They lag out entirely, and it says that they are removed from the match by BattlEye. And they don't come back. So we end up playing the rest of the game as a 4v5, and I think I did really well and could probably show off some of the things going through my head, the ways that I play and stuff, and the reason I make the decisions that I do. So, playing some Warden here because I don't know what it is lately, but almost every single game that I've been playing has had some kind of, well, it's had some kind of rush maneuver going on, you know? So, not too big a fan of that overall. Anyway. Not too big a fan of getting rushed all the time. But here I am playing inside a break room because I want to try and defend CCTV and also East stairs if at all possible. I hear this melee by my window. I Z-ping the gridlock over here on this window, who has a drone in pocket, but just jumps in and dies immediately to Thorn watching her window there. Now we're in a 5 versus 3. We're in a 5 versus 2. This is going great. Brava's trying to hold down a long angle here. Goes into small office, sees the mute for a second. Nobody hears her jump into small office, by the way. This Jaeger is on cameras, so everyone just dies to her. She just walks into small office. This guy's on cameras the whole time. Get off of cameras. And I think Potato Fry dies over on East Main in a duel to the Ash, who goes through those stairs that gridlock opened earlier, so now I'm in a 1v2. Still over by break room, but I know that my Thorn died over by East Main, so I decide to wait for the Ash to push me, because, look, I have time. I have no reason to push things yet. I know that this Ash doesn't have diffuser, so she's going to want to get close to it, and I get a pretty free kill there. Just playing the time. You know, playing the objective, knowing the way that certain operators work. Most people will not pick up the diffuser, especially if they're playing Ash, and it'll be auto-assigned to whatever other utility operator. So now I'm in a 1v1 with the Brava, and because she's like pre-firing things, I know that she's over by, and because of that Thorn, I know that she's over by the Armory Lockers side. So I decide to wait, listen for the plant. I hear it go down there. I try to peek out. I know that it's behind this bomb somewhere. My C4 kind of misses. It lands on top of the bomb there instead of going behind it like I wanted it to. And so now I'm just looking for the Brava. Like maybe she has a peek hole inside of CCTV here. No way of telling. Oh, and I see her shoulder there. She's on drone. I didn't even realize it, and I get a free kill for it. And also, I think that mute general would have stopped the diffuser from, or the Brava drone from going through. But takeaway point from that is, I don't know why our Rook was on cameras that whole time. Nobody made any calls. I had my whole team unmuted. Nobody made a single call saying like, "Oh my gosh, she jumped into small office. Turn around, turn around." Because Pulse had his thing out on an unreinforced main wall. he had his pulse scanner out on an unreinforced main wall. The mute was caught lagging, and the Rook was on cameras the whole time. While Thorn lost a duel to the Ash, which is understandable. Thorn's weapon doesn't win the 1v1, but like, you don't really need to be sitting on cams, I guess. Like, if two of your teammates die that are right next to you, probably get off of cams. That's just my perspective. And so I don't have to go into a 1v2 clutch from a 5v2. And there you go. So Dylan Scar leaves the match, and we are, for the rest of this game, in a 4 versus 5. I'm playing Warden again, because I'm just worried about the same process happening, but also I like the MPX, has the 1.5. I get a C4. A couple of really good things in terms of a very selfish utility operator. And I have actually, on border, I have denied a Ying before. I decided, like, oh yeah, I don't want to reinforce that floor. I want to reinforce the one of her bathroom tellers because we can't really afford to have too much of a roam presence right now because we're down a player. Even though we do have a Cavi, I just, based off of my own instinct, I feel like that we're not going to be utilizing that hatch very well. So I'm not going to be too worried about it here. I'm kind of like going around site, making sure things are set up. I realize that bathroom walls into workshop are not reinforced, so go ahead and do that real quick. Put that up. And I don't know why this happens, but they start TKing this dude. Oh, right, because he lost the 1v1 because he was on drone with me. That makes sense. Yeah, so he gets TK'd because his team's upset at him. Typical. This is gold 4, by the way. At least that's the elo that I'm in. So try pre-firing this window a couple times, trying to see if there's somebody on it. Don't see anybody, so I decide against it. I hear that break above. I hear the breach charge placed above my head there, and I decide that I'm going to go for a flank maneuver here. But not before checking detention to see if anybody went through there. Fuse gets a kill, and I realize, okay, so I need to kill this Fuse, which should have been our Cavi's job. Cavi does get one. I try to see the Nomad air jab before it kills me. It doesn't work. Try to get the guy that's pushing me on that side. I know that there's like one out in the hallway here, and I get pushed by the guy inside of armory lockers there. So kind of an unfortunate thing for me overall, but not entirely unmanageable. Both of our teams are pretty even now in a 2 versus 2 situation, fairly even HP overall. But also, look at Nomad for a second. Nomad still has, well, they just put another air jab down. That's the last one, but they still have 3 breach charges in pocket. They could make so many rotates, they could make so much more happen on this site, but instead they don't. They don't even see the Cavi there, funny enough. And 1 minute remaining. But they still have plenty of time. They know where diffuser is. Cavi's trying to push up on it. They're really droning for it. They really want to see who's around. And then they see the Caveira. So they know where she is. Unfortunately. And get a brilliant pre-fire on that. I think they're not even running a grip. You can see. no vertical, no angled grip. What an absolute lad that Slump the Sixth is. And Echo just loses the 1v1 on site because Brava has had a tendency to just jump into sites and get kills. Moral of the story is, border, you still need to roam. I was playing a little bit too passively on the roam there, and I needed to support my Cav a little bit better so that I wasn't going to get caught off by that Nomad early on, which is a total mistake by me, but that's alright. I swap over for Frost this round. You know, Frost on Ventilation Workshop. You put the traps on the window. You go play upstairs inside of Armory Locker's archives. This round is an interesting one, because if anybody is going to accuse me of cheating for this game, it would probably be this round. And you'll see why pretty soon. Anyway, we're setting up for this defense on Armory Locker's archives and putting some like cheeky frost mats down. You know, sometimes attackers like to use rotate, sometimes they like to go around them. And I forget where I put the last one. I think I just put it at top of metal or something. But I know that I want to play upstairs. I gotta put my deployable shield down first. Not sure if this is the best spot for it, but it is a location that protects anybody who's going through that rotate. And the buck downs the sledge in return this round because they're mad at each other. Squeeps, or well, somebody killed. No. One of the slump guys TK'd the sledge, and then Squeeps just is caught in the crossfire for that round. Might have also been the guy who was playing Ash. And there goes the buck to our Malusi, who is also playing relatively well. Gets him out on that east exit, the waiting room exit there. And here I am, you know, watching the window as I do. I have no idea where any of these other people are. I kind of look at the guy through the floor, though, don't I? Oh, no, that's our own team. Never mind. I hear the melee on the wall, and I hear him on drone. I'm like, okay, so he's got to be through the wall, right? And so I down him. I just, like, pre-fire the wall there. Like, okay, where is this guy? And then I hear him, he's been down, so I just spray through the wall, and I get the fuse for that anyway. And I know I'm getting shot through the wall again, so I keep holding upstairs. But, point is, I heard the melee on the door, I heard the drone go out, and I knew that he would have to be close to the door just based off of general game sense there. But it looks like I'm cheating because I pre-fired him through the wall, even though it's just like total game knowledge thing that's going on there. That barricade is... There we go. There. Now it's not up. But Nomad's outside that barricade. We're in a 4 versus 3. All of our team is extremely healthy, while Squeeps is pretty low on HP. IDK Flicks goes low. Let's also swap over to some of the action here. Throws out an impact nade, trying to catch the last bit of the player. Nomad Air Jeb goes out. Holding this wonderful little... Oh, here's one. Pulse hears this guy. Knows that they're over in supply room somewhere. Sees him on the scanner there. Pre-fires the wall. And downs him. So, that's pretty good. Overall, Sledge is now the last remaining player, trying to catch player inside a bathroom, isn't able to get the angle exactly. Flicks is down. He's going to be going in through tellers this time around. Vaults the hole. And back out into waiting room, but there's only 19 seconds left, and Squeeps gets caught on the rotate out of tellers by the Ella pistol. And that's a pretty good round for us. Communication breakdown all across the board for the blue team. Because the drone that tried to get me in archives was done by a misdrone on the pole, or the fuse. The Sledge dies to a team just not like really playing around him. And everyone just kind of dies to these peaks that are really ill-advised, and they don't play the vertical. Sledge, may I remind you, went in through first floor, never once aggressed on the second floor for a first floor defense. So, kind of a misplay there, I would say. If you're going to be playing a soft breach operator, play the operator like you're playing soft breach. You play Zofia, you play Ash, you play Sledge, you play Buck. You play any of those operators, you better be opening the floor or at least clearing utility. And that doesn't happen very often, and it's a little bit surprising in this elo. Another thing that I've noticed about playing in low elo is that people just don't use their utility and they just try to go run in and frag. As you can see in this game specifically, it's not really working out too well for them. I know that the bomb's upstairs. I decided to get my drone by West Main. Cool little thing you can do. Oh, where's my scope? Get that camera. And there it is. And get that camera. And I go up here because I'm sometimes worried about getting peeked from the main entrance from my spawn, so sprint around that backside there. So I go back on drone to make sure nobody's spawn peeking me, and then I try to grab this default camera. There it goes. Frame rate is terrible in-game. I don't know why. So I go up on the rappel. I notice that there's the reinforced wall there with the Aruni gate. It is the right reinforcement for that wall, by the way. I know that some people will typically try to say, like, you want to have that wall inside of small office open. Oops, back around the other way. But this wall here inside of small office, this is the right play, right? Because if you have this open, we have a really easy angle from the rappel onto this door to kill the player that's playing inside a small office and anybody else that tries to rotate through there. But if you have it on this wall, you open up some feet holes here, you deny access into this location. You can even sit back by metal detector and see people rotating it up and through the archive side here. Because there's really no defenses on this specific box here. You can see there's no anything for the attackers to hide behind, aside from this little tiny wall. But then when this wall is opened up, you just pre-fire that wall, and that's an easy kill anyway. So, just like a little bit of basic border strategy. Slump actually picks up potato fry, so we're down a set of nades entirely. But I realized that the wall is openable, and Slump 7 leaves the match. I think they were just sitting AFK for a bit, I open the main wall here. We got time. Try to peek to see if anybody's behind half wall. I don't see anyone, so I risk the jump out here. And go up on rappel, because this is something that I'm a little bit... Oh, I see your head. Yep, goodbye. I just pre-aim the lockers there to see if anybody's there. Try to see if anybody's through the office. Remember, once again, that it is reinforced. I think at this point I look down to see if I get... No, I throw a drone out. Okay, I look down to see... do I hear anybody trying to run out on me on detention or anything? I don't end up seeing anything. So I drone out. Nothing behind half wall. Gonna check small office. I see the Solus in small office. And I'm like, you know what? That Solus is in small office, but we have the wall open already. And also, our Flores is doing a great job here. By moving the Solus out of small office, I'm able to get this plant off. I get the barbed wire down. I put the smoke down in case they try to make a line of sight. I didn't even know Solus was down at this point. But it's a real boon for me, because I get the diffuser down. And then I just go out and hold a long angle onto the sandwich lockers. Pretty easy stuff. I think Vigil's the next to fall here. Yep, there he goes. And it's up to Squeeps, who is trying to jump out. Pulls the barricade down. I hear him sprinting through CCTV. So, in this round as well, let's also go back to what I had at the very end there. So the reason why I was able to flick around on this player is because, look, ADSs, and I hear him here. Like, when you're a 2-speed, right? So you're still audible. Whenever you ADS, you can hear that sound. Whenever you're crouch walking for a 2-speed, you're still audible. I have really good headphones. And so I hear this guy. I think he's going to round out on me on the CC door. But then I hear him break down the barricade here. And I flick on him and just get the kill for free. So, pretty simple stuff overall. A really good execute. Done well because nobody was sitting half wall. Nobody was playing wall denial. Nobody was trying to deny the plant aside from the Solus. But then the Solus got pushed on metal and freaked out and got downed. And so, your primary plant defense is gone. I didn't plant in front of this wall because I was worried about there being someone on CCTV, but point is, I played Thermite and I'm fragging out. I got 2 that round. I got a nice headshot onto the Aruni trying to peek me on the rappel, which was a little bit lucky, I'll admit. And then I just played intel, played the objective. On to the next round. We're still attacking. Match point, by the way. On attack. I hear him. You know, I know that they're upstairs. Inside of the Armory Archives. Armory Lockers and Archives site, again. And, yeah. I decided to pick Thermite again, because, heck, maybe they won't get wall denial. Unfortunately for me, there is a kite available here. That was terrible. That's not... well, whatever. If you break that computer, you can actually make that vault, because the computer gives you a little bit of a height boost to get up. That's a terrible deployable shield. What the hell is that? What is this? What am I looking at here? This deployable shield does nothing. Because... you have no space to sit behind it unless you're like half wall here and trying to hit this and trying to deny the main breach. But Thatcher's been banned. We're not going to be opening this wall with relative ease, and we're probably not going to be running Kali because we're in a 4v5. It's not exactly a utility operator that we can afford to bring. Kayet is here, watching this rotate here. They have... is this... that's an Aruni over there. Playing inside of CCTV. And there's Warden running out. So we know that they have a Warden, because he's just been outside for long enough. So that's why I pre-aim here, because I know that the Warden ran out. I'm worried about him running out on me again. And Twitch actually gets the first kill of the game onto Squeeps. Squeeps is now 0-5. So Ying vaults in. Warden hears it. He sprints out. I'm like, oh, well, shoot. And then I see the timer, I just catch them on the rotate there. But we lost to Gas Mask Guy, also 0-3. Also not doing really well. The only rounds that I think they haven't died in are the ones that we've handily won. And even then, they died in one of the rounds we won. So, I know that there's a player playing over by CCTV. I see the Oryx on a drone here. I try to pre-fire him through the wall, and I actually down him. I don't know how that counts as a down. I don't think that last bullet really even hit. And I say, hey, there's a guy who was playing over here on top east stairs. Might still be there. And this is really fucking embarrassing. So I go and peek wide here. I look over to CC, and I see out of the corner of my eye, I see the Aruni. And the Twitch tries to go for the kill here, and her ADS speed is so low that she misses the shots. You could have hit fired and had a better hit accuracy than the Twitch did in that round. And so we end up losing that round. For me, because I didn't continue to use my drone, I still had time to use it there. I believe so, yeah. Like let's look at the moments before my death and see how much time was left. Because this is a pretty fast round too. Yeah, look. We still have a minute 43 when I die. We still have 5 drones left. We still have a minute 43 left in the round. I could have easily afforded to go for a drone here and catch this player out on the balcony, but I was expecting him to be here considering the numbers that we had. But look at the time, man. We know that we killed the Oryx. We're in a 2v2. I don't need to be pushing angles that I know nothing about. So, my mistake there for playing it that way. And that brings us to round number 6. Still match point. We're still up 3-2 in a 4v5. Now, granted, a couple of those were given to us because these people were mad at each other for playing the way that they did. And this time, they go custom supply room. Now, here's a thing about custom supply room. Look at all this wood. Look at all of this. There is so much soft breachable material above site here. And above site here. Well, actually, there's more above, like, main entrance and ventilation side. But this is all of customs here. See, look. So, this box here. Boom. This box here. Absolutely massive square footage that is covered above by a soft breach. And look at that. We have a sledge. I'm playing Nomad because I was thinking of bringing breach charges because I was thinking of, you know, opening the vertical. But because we had a sledge, I thought, you know what? We don't need to worry about sledge too much. We don't need to worry about sledge. So we're not going to worry about sledge. So we're going to see what Flores is up to. Flores has not been playing well. Here's the guy running out, but doesn't even register in their mind that that door has been opened. Completely unaware. Gets traded back. And now it's Sledge trying to get the aggression on ADSs to try and rotate around, and that's our Sledge dead. So now I'm really regretting having not brought breach charges here. And I decide to try and peek, and their Solus runs out on us for some reason. Just some really bizarre reason. I hear the shotgun go out. I know there's a player over there. It's the Cavi, but I recognize that she's actually left all the way upstairs. I try to peek the wall. I know that someone's shooting through me through the wall, and like, well, all right. You know what we should do, because we have a fuse? We should go upstairs. I go upstairs, I pop open the CC wall, I throw a drone, I get on my drone, I see her break the barricade here, and I just hip fire. Like, I know that I have a 2.0 scope, and that I'm close enough range to get the Cavi. Do a little teabagging, because Cavi's 0-6. Absolutely terrible showing from them as well. And here I'm like, okay, well, is there somebody else inside of CCTV? And I say, hey, Fuse, come upstairs to this window. Well, you'll see me pinging in a second. See the proximity alarm. I know they know that we're up here. But for now, I'm like, hey, come up to this window. You're safe here, because I can hold the cross. There's nobody playing over by armory lockers. not using the entire width of the map. And I get that. And also, notice how the hatches above this site are also soft. So we get some fuse charges down. Mozzie's on his drone right now, it looks like. And so Fuse actually gets this kill for free, because Mozzie's just sitting on a drone. Like, come on, guy. Why are you like this? Anyway, this window's not fully open yet. Trying to look for the Aruni. I know that she is somewhere around first floor, just because we were able to get second floor so well. There's not going to be anybody there. Plant behind the supply boxes because there's no way I'm getting shot from my left, which is a bit of a mistake, by the way. Well, let's get the plant off first, and I put an air jab down on it just for good measure. But the mistake here that the enemy team made is reinforcing this wall here, and I'll tell you why. If you're playing custom supply room, which, by the way, never go custom supply room, you can see these vulnerabilities are like detention center, and also all of this above the site is just so breachable and easy to get kills on, which we saw. We got the Mozzie on there for free. But if you open up this wall and reinforce more along these two walls here, because you don't want your guy inside a small office getting shot, most likely. But if you open up this wall and this wall, you make it so that players jumping into the supply room here can get shot from here and even from on metal stairs. If you have this wall open as well, maybe you don't. I'm not sure, actually. This is just all theory. If you have this wall open and you have someone playing over by lobby here, you can also have like a nice long angle there, or even have someone like quick peek around the door here and throw a C4 over top to catch people in the back here. That's the theory there. But in practice, not so great. I like this idea of having this open to deny this entry here, but honestly, if you're having roamers, you can double reinforce this, have someone play upstairs, get your hatches so that we don't have those access points anymore. If I had breach charges, this would have been a really easy entry. And then have somebody maybe play inside of waiting room or on the waiting room balcony, and then have an angle that shoots into the entrance there. The east, what is this? I don't even know what this is called. Reception entrance, I guess. But anyway, this wall's fine. But yeah, pointing out that even though we do win this 4v5, oh yeah, so I don't even expect a Rooney to be inside of workshop here. I'm like, oh, she's, you know, bottom west main, she's bottom metal somewhere. We have a drone, right? And so we do indeed have a drone. You can see that I'm on it. I'm the only person on the drone, by the way. I actually asked Fuse, hey, do you have a drone? I'm the only one on drone. These two chuckle fucks are watching the Fuse. I'm on the drone. The drone is like kind of right here behind the housing, watching this rotate. You'll see that I get a red ping on the Aruni here pretty soon. Yep, there she is. So we know that she's there. Fuse tries to get it. Nice little flick onto the Aruni. A little bit more dicey than we would have liked it to be. But that's how that game ends. Super duper quick in relative succession. Winning a 4v5 because 1, this team couldn't keep their emotions in check. 2, Squeeps went 0-6. Died every single round playing Caveira, so you're not even putting down good utility. It's one thing if you die, right? And you have a really negative KD. But it's another thing if you die and you don't play your utility. Cavi's utility is to catch people who are off-site. You're supposed to roam and kill people that way. And you couldn't even successfully do that against me when I was hip-firing you with the ARX at point-blank range. That's not good. Check your sends, I guess. Like, there's something going on there. Yeah, terrible showing of utility and everything from this team. Really bad use of the rotates and everything. Like, you don't have a rotate into detention here. You don't really, you kind of have a rotate into customs, but this wall should be opened as well for another rotate so you can like swing around that side a little more easily and have a nice angle, maybe from small office into detention center if you really wanted it to be that way. there's a whole lot of things that could have gone differently. And the reason why I'm harping on this at the very end of the video is because we were in a 4v5. One of our guys went 0-4. We had no reason winning this match whatsoever. And yet, because I know how the map works, because I was using my utility, and because the enemy team was not using their utility, we end up winning this round anyway. Me and Q combining for 17 kills in 6 rounds. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today. How to win a 4v5. Just hope that your enemy team is not that smart. And play your utility. Please. It's driving me insane. I'll see you later. Bye.